Hello everyone, I'm Karen93. Welcome back to Twilight Host Club. It's a bit late, so I might have to be a bit more quiet than I usually am, which kind of sucks because my voice is already quiet in the videos, but I'll try my best, I promise. I saved up 58 diamonds. Let's go. I'm trying to hit about 50 every time before I start, but it's been a couple days, so finally we get to listen in on Finn and Hector. If we remember previously, Finn basically took me in, talked about Scarlet for a bit, which is the half vampire, half human girl who likes Ash. And then Hector came in, who was an investigator for the dead body we found in the basement. Finn was going to talk to us about it, but Hector came in and we were kicked out because he does not want us to get involved. So, and I wanted to listen in on their little talk, so I stopped the video there, but now we shall continue it and hear what Hector has to say to Finn that we aren't allowed to hear. I peek through the keyhole and listen in. The Human Council is concerned about the implications of these recent murders, myself in particular. Oh no, why is my mouse not working as it should? Okay, now it is. I understand that you've benefited greatly from our shared peace. Okay, I don't know. Okay, hold on. Okay, yes, we are correct. It's an honor for a human like myself to provide intelligence for the elders, and the pay is great. What about your club? It also relies on peaceful relations between our two kinds. It does, and we're just as concerned. This can't continue, we all agree on that. Doesn't look good for you, a victim on your own premises. Not with the kind of services you provide, which you're so happy to openly advertise. Concealment in plain sight. Call it what you will. It makes you look suspicious to everyone, the police, the elders, the council. If you are making an accusation, Hector, get on with it. Hector laughs. You got me all wrong, friend. I'm trying to help you, the same way I help the elders. I have some information that you need about the human murders. What'll it cost? I hear some scribbling. If that's too rich for your blood, consider the cost of your club shutting down for an investigation. I'll also take an IOU. So this is how humans keep peace with vampires? Sounds more like blackmail. Very well. The intelligence, please? It's not one vampire behind the murders. It's a group of rebel vampires from different covens who've band together. They call themselves the Blood Knights, and their actions are becoming more organized. In fact, they're starting to look more like their own coven. The Blood Knights? I'm assuming they're against the peace between vampires and humans? I hear footsteps and spring far away, making it seem like I was only waiting. Good evening, Hector. Wait, what? Good evening, Hector. You have my card. Call if you learn anything new. Hector shuffles away, and Finn turns to me with a raised eyebrow. I thought I told you to take the night off. I was waiting outside to just ask what's going on. Just a reminder that this is no ordinary murder. I see. Well, I'll get going then. Good night, Finn. Good night, Mistress Chris. As I walk up the stairs to my room, I can't stop thinking about that poor woman. I'm so preoccupied that I don't even notice that something is in my path until I run right into it. Ow! I clutch my bleeding hand as shards of glass shatter over the carpet. Who put this in the middle of the... Oh no. breaking a mirror, Chris, as if you need more bad luck. I agree. 7 years bad luck, man. Like, I already have to live in this weirdo house full of weirdo people. Oh, let's go. We finally get Finn. Continue on. Okay. I stand there, staring at my bleeding hand and the mirror shards on the floor. Chris, are you bleeding? Niles? Where did he come from? He rushes over to me and grabs a hold of my injured hand. It's nothing. I wasn't looking where I was going, and I ran into this mirror. I have no idea why it's out there, though. Now it glares, fangs coming out. Someone left this here? Yeah, it's weird. I'll bandage you up. Come on. I got scared. I thought he was going to freak out or something. Niles steers me into one of the locked storage rooms off the corridor, where we can barely hear the chattering and music. There should be a first aid kit in here somewhere. He rummages through the cupboards and avoids making eye contact. Why won't Niles look at me? Is he upset with me leaving him earlier? What should I do? I don't really feel bad about leaving him because it wasn't really my fault. Be surprised he's helping me. I mean, that seems kind of rude, you know? But I think this can lead into the reason why he's not even looking at me. So I'm more curious about that, so I think I'm gonna do that. I don't think a guy keeping me on my feet some time ago would be helping me now. Niles looks up, cocking an eyebrow. I could leave right now if that's what you want. He flashes a sardonic smile, which gives me a good view of his fang. I gulp and look down. No, continue, please. Without another word, Niles turns his attention back to the cabinet and finds the first aid kit. I look away for a moment and I feel something warm on my hand, aside from my blood. When I look back, I see him bringing my hand close to his lips. Niles, what are you... Niles freezes and let out a deep chuckle. Just taking a closer look at your hand. As if with great effort, Niles breathes deeply and makes quick work of cleaning and bandaging up my hand. Thanks. What's going on here? I was clumsy and I hurt myself. I sneak a glance in Niles' direction and see he's gritting his teeth. What's with Niles? Why are you alone to begin with? Ash's voice is firm as he grabs my bandaged hand. Is it a deep cut? How much blood did you lose? If you need to rest, you should take some time off. I'm so taken aback by Ash's concern that I fall speechless. Meanwhile, I can feel my face warming up. Ash glares at Niles. I told you to keep watch over here at all times. Niles almost snarls as the two keep glaring at each other. Someone needs to clean the broken glass. The kitchen staff can take care of anything you broke. We have enough glasses for an army. No, it was a mirror, and it was in the corridor. That gets Ash's attention away from Niles and back on me. Why did you have a mirror in the corridor? She didn't. It was left there. Ash and Niles exchange a meaningful look. I'll go have a look. Take her up to the residential floor. Don't get handsy. Ash narrows his eyes at Niles before turning to leave. Well, so much for kind and attentive. Ash making an appearance. That was rude. Ash is rude. Ash is like, I don't know. I feel like he's being rude for no reason, really. I feel like they have a backstory, and that's what makes him rude and him that's what makes Ash rude and Niles defensive. Niles leaves me just inside my guest bedroom and stays in the doorway. The thought of him being inside the room where I sleep makes me nervous. In a good or an easy way, I can't tell. Get some rest and remember to keep that thing covered up. I touch my bandaged hand. Got it. Thanks again for fixing me up. He nods as if to himself and disappears down the stairs. The next morning, I find a basket of bandage and anesthetic on the dresser. It's pretty timely since I need to replace my bandages after showering. I did promise Niles that I wouldn't subject him and the guys to too much temptation. I hear a knock on my door. I'll be out for breakfast in a moment, Brett. It's me. That's new. I rush to the door and open it. Is everything okay, Ash? We're having a staff meeting after breakfast. You need to explain exactly what happened when you found the mirror last night. Why does he seem more worried about my accident than the murder? All right, I'll be there soon. That's weird. I mean, I guess it is kind of weird to have a mirror in the middle of a hallway. And why would the mirror just be a normal mirror if it was just in the middle of the hallway, you know? It's kind of... I guess it seems special, but I don't see or understand why that would be. Breakfast is tense, and Brett keeps throwing me worried looks throughout. Finally, Ash sits down his mug and clears his throat. So last night, the club experienced not one, but two abnormal events. Yes, I'd say murder is pretty abnormal, especially since the body was obviously planted here on purpose. We haven't established that. Niles pitches forward in his seat. It could have been more obvious if not now, Niles. We need to talk about the trap. You don't mean that that's exactly what I'm referring to. Antique mirrors aren't accidentally left in the middle of corridors, especially not coven relics. Oh no! No way! What? Wait. Oh, no way. Wait, but that means that it's going to involve me into the investigation now. So now I'm not just like some bystander. Now I'm like, how did this mirror break? Oh, you know, stuff happens. They're like, no. The human we're taking care of broke it. Bro, I'm screwed. That's 7 years bad luck is no lie. It's no joke. Finn straightens up, alarmed. So the empty frame that you showed me was from the trap you speak of? Ash nods grimly. Whoever set up that mirror wanted to send a message. Like with the body? Chris, is that how you got hurt? Every eye in the room flies to my bandaged hand. I snatch my hand away and tuck it out of sight. At least there's no blood on the bandage. That's enough gawking. Finn, keep up your end of this investigation. Chris, you'll need to take on more responsibilities since Finn will be busy. The rest of us have clients scheduled. Get to work, everyone. Jeez, host clubs are really tight-knit, aren't they? Though I'm busy on my feet all day, images of the murder surface to mind every so often. In the end, I'm left with a heavy anxiety feeling in my chest, and I'm more guarded than usual. I can't understand how they can all just return to work after what's happened. Yeah, that'd be kind of traumatizing. Right before the club is set to open, I bring the guys their cups of blood to drink. Finn and Ash are sitting in a booth together talking in whispers. When I set their glasses down, I'm sure they didn't even notice me. I don't want to interrupt them. Besides, I have to deliver Niles' blood. Niles' booth is the furthest possible from the one Ash is sitting in. Aren't you a sight for sore eyes? I mask my apprehension by keeping a straight face as I set the glass on the table. I brought your drink, and I can see that your tray is empty. Sit with me, mistress. I give Niles a wary look while he smugly grins. Don't worry, I won't bite much. I want to roll my eyes, but his darkened gaze is somehow attracting me to him. I could use a little distraction. I've been tense all day. Should I stay with Niles? I kinda just want to get back to work. I love you, Niles, but I have to. There's still work to do. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Don't hate me. I still have a million other things to do. No one will notice if you do them later. Come on, be a little bad. I start to pull away, but he grabs my wrists and pulls me into the booth next to him. Hey! Niles lunges back in his seat, eyeing me like a leopard looks at a gazelle. I break into a cold sweat, but will myself to stay calm. Aren't you going to drink? Finn says that you have to take it before you meet with the customers. Niles picks up the glass of blood and swirls the scarlet liquid around. When he looks back at me, his gaze is piercing, and he leans forward. Do you really think this is the kind of blood I crave? You're not supposed to be craving any blood. He grimaces, and I notice his grip tightened around the glass. Didn't Finn explain to you why we drink before we work? Ash's precious pills that he swears by don't work perfectly, Chris. My heartbeat races, reaches a crescendo the moment Niles closes in on me. He downed the glass in a gulp, is a mockery of what it means to be a vampire. But you have what I want, what I need. My breath hitches while his hand brushes over the top of my bandaged hand. My heart hammers at the thought of him drinking my blood, but I can't help biting my lip at the thought. They always make it sound so pleasurable, like in the books I read. What should I do? No, tell him off, bro. I close my eyes and turn away. Why are you doing this? It's only going to make things harder for you. A look of fury passes over Niles' face. All of the coy playfulness of earlier wiped away in a second. You should leave this place with me. Tonight. Leave? What are you talking about? He grits my chin and tilts it up. If you knew how many secrets they were hiding from you. But this is your own coven. Why would he take me with him, even if he were leaving? He leans in to whisper in my ear. I could say a lot more if only you would listen. If only you would listen. I can't just... I have to think about it. Don't take too long. We're almost out of time. Why is he being so suspicious? An old grandfather clock chimes the hour, stirring me from my thoughts. Crap, I really need to get back to work now. I grab my tray from the table and dash out. Should I tell Ash about this? No. I can't jump to conclusions. I'll take some time to think this through. Ash and Niles already have enough tension between them. I better be sure before I make any accusations. Unlike Hector, when the club opens, even Finn has to pause his investigation to keep the club running. I spot him, Ash, and even Niles entertaining customers. What about Brett? Hey, Chris, over here! Brett waves at me enthusiastically from the bar. It's my turn to guard you while the others are busy. Once I settle in the chair beside him, Brett flashes a worried look. Things have been pretty weird lately, huh? Are you doing okay? Yeah, I'm managing. Should I tell him about Niles being weird earlier? No, it doesn't seem right to rag on Niles while they're such good friends. You'll get the hang of it. I had a hard time with Ash's demands when I first got to the club, but now... He smiles brightly. Now it's my home. I can't imagine belonging anywhere else. I return his smile. I'm glad, you deserve it. These guys all helped me adjust, especially Finn. I could teach you what he taught me if you want. What do you say, big sis? Jeez, he's so cute. Somehow being called that makes me blush. I wouldn't mind being his guinea pig for a bit, and I might as well pick up a thing or two while I'm working here. I'm also curious how far the hosts go one-on-one. What should I do? I'll get hosting lessons. That seems fun. That'll also be the last choice for this episode, though, so if there's anything else, then we'll have to end the episode and I'll have to grind a bit. Grind a bit of points. Dang it. Sorry. I forget context sometimes. Sure, I'd like that, Brett. Brett flashes me a boyish grin and then jumps to his feet, grabbing my hand. Come on, we should do this somewhere where the customers can't see us. God, he is adorable, though. In the dining room, Brett lines up a bunch of bottles and glasses of varying shapes. Did Finn make you memorize all the different liquor glasses? I think I've got most of them. Okay, ignore the cocktail glasses for now. You don't need to know how to mix martini. Good, because everything I know about martinis come from old spy movies. He laughs at my feeble joke, which makes me feel warm and full of butterflies inside. This is how they get you, Chris. Is this how you seduce your customers too, by laughing at their jokes? He leans forward and presses his hand over mine. I don't know what you're talking about. I chortle proudly to push away the fluttering in my stomach. Alright, I'll play mistress once for once. This should be fun. Alright, teach me your ways, master host. Well, when Finn taught me, we made it into a game. You only get to drink the ones you poured perfectly. Something like that. Not much like the games that we used to play at your grandpa's house. I tried to keep my voice casual when I asked my next question. Was he Nope, Grants wasn't a blood relative. He took me in after my parents vanished. I watched him reach for a glass of wine, fumble, and catch it at the last minute. Wow, you're pretty impressive. Brett lets out a soft laugh while he rubs the back of his neck. I'm not half as good as Finn. He would never have dropped a glass. He begins pouring a bottle of beer. Gramps was never one for wine, but he loved beer. You know, I just realized that, my bad, I'm sorry. I just realized that he has a metal thing on his finger for some reason. Why? That's his right middle finger. That's interesting. I don't know why he would have that. I mean, I guess it's a style choice. It kind of goes along with his golden teal type of thing, because he has teal on his fingernails and then he has gold every... I don't know. It's a bit weird to have, but I guess it makes sense. It was weird growing up with humans, I always knew I was different. He looks up at me. But you always made me feel like I belonged. Is that why you never told me what you were? I knew that humans feared vampires. I don't think I understood why back then. You were only a little kid. How could anyone have been afraid of you? Brett opens his mouth to speak, but instead shrugs. Is he holding something back? I don't blame them. I went to human school again after Gramps died. I wanted to stay there, but it didn't work out. And that's when you came to the club? Yep. And it's where I learned all these cool tricks, like this. He began juggling the glasses with expertise. I'm in awe by his deft hands, until one crashes onto the tile floor. Oh no! My smile gives way to shock while Brett breaks into a sweat. And that's when happens when you get too confident. I burst out laughing. It was still a good show. No wonder all the customers fawn over you. Brett really knows how to entertain. But I wonder, how far do you take things with customers? Oh no, he's blushing. A blush blooms on his face. Well, I catch sight of his fang. Do you actually bite them? Are you alright with that? I know I'm not as dashing or robust as the other guys, but I'm a man, you know? I know what I'm getting myself into. Brett leans close, his lips curled into a small playful smile. He takes a lock of my hair between his index finger and thumb, twirling it. But I've always valued what you thought of me. It makes me incredibly happy to know how concerned you are. My mind spins as Brett's gaze becomes much more alluring. And for a moment, instead of seeing the boy I used to play with, I see a young man hungry for my attention. Sorry to break away from this scene right now, but he didn't answer the question. He definitely deflected the question. So, I'm concerned on how far he takes things with the customers. This is a host club, but you didn't answer any of the questions that I asked, and I personally am curious about this. Brett breaks into another silly grin. And just to be clear, Ash would never make me do something I was uncomfortable with. Is that right? I feel a prick of jealousy, thinking that he had to have bitten a handful of customers. The highest paying ones, of course. I think that's enough for today. You should get some rest, Chris. He still didn't answer the question. I'm concerned now. I don't have an inch of jealousy. I am concerned. After Brett accompanies me to my door and says goodnight, I fall into bed completely exhausted. But somehow, I'm still too on edge to relax. Maybe I could continue working on my vampire novel. It's been a while. As I cross the room for my laptop, I notice my curtains moving. What the? I never opened the windows here. I stiffen and grip whatever's nearest at hand, which happens to be a flashlight. I pull the curtains aside. Who's there? I'm armed. I see the back of someone leap down to the balcony below. It all happens too fast for me to get a good look at them. Who the hell was that? That is an excellent question. Okay, who's next? Is it Brett? It's Brett! Okay. Let's go! Continue on. This is the last ticket, but it might also be the last choice that we have to go through. Unless we take 2 hours reading this, which is highly unlikely because most of the episodes are about an hour and about 2 to 3 episodes. I lean over the windowsill, trying to get a better look at the figure in the balcony below. That's when I hear footsteps behind me. Crap, there's more than one of them! Bash him in the head! I turn around and raised my improvised weapon, getting ready to take a swing. But Finn catches it in his hand. Aw, man. I was about to bash his head in. Oh, it's just you, Finn. My apologies, Mrs. Chris. I didn't mean to startle you. I drop the flashlight as reliefs come flooding in. Then I look back out the open window. I swear this window was locked. Finn touches my shoulder. You're not hurt, are you? I was patrolling and I heard you yelling. Then he points to the open bathroom door. Is there someone in there? It's empty now, but it looks like it was searched. Let me see for myself. All the cupboards and drawers are open, and their contents are spread all over the counter. Jeez, what were they looking for? Finn, standing in the doorway, shakes his head. It's hard to say. I can't rule out it being a randomly targeted burglary. But if they're after you specifically, he clenches his jaw and looks away. I'll circle the perimeter again and look for clues. I appreciate it, Finn. I grab an overturned stool and sit down. Might as well get this mess cleaned up. Finn reaches out to cup my cheek, which catches me by surprise. A blush finds its way to my face as he looks into my eyes. I'll come check on you when I'm done. Please, for safety, leave your door unlocked tonight. All right. Cleaning everything up doesn't take as long as I'd feared. By the time I'm done, the adrenaline from before had dissipated. I hear a knock on the door. It must be Finn coming to check on me. When I let him into the room, the first thing Finn does is check the latch on every window. I curl up in my armchair and watch as he gets to work. This is so different from the office work that I usually see Finn do. I like this side of him. It's pretty sexy. When he looks up, he catches me watching him. Oh crap. I turned my head away. I did say I would bolt them all. The latches are a little tricky. Finn growls quiet as he returns to work. Curt as ever. Did you find anything during your patrol? A few clues might point to the identity of who broke in. I still feel safer knowing that he's investigating. I should make sure he knows that. I blush as one way I could go about that comes to mind. How should I thank Finn for protecting me? Thank him physically or to keep my distance? Well, I would like to say that will be all. That will be all for now. Thankfully, this will be a perfect time because the tickets have to refuel, and obviously it takes either 2 hours or 2 days. And that will definitely be enough time for them to recharge, and we won't have a problem with that. But I have to save up diamonds again because I do want to thank him physically because, because dot dot dot. And second of all, I'm very curious on what that means. Like, how does that work? What is going to happen? I'm more curious. No. I'm very curious. I was going to say I'm more curious than anything, but that would be a lie. Anyway, I'm curious and I want to know, which is the second reason why. The first reason is dot dot dot. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed, and I will try my best to be back as soon as possible. I love you all.